Sharp 11 o'clock. Let us get started. In the course of the next 60 minutes, we are going to learn how to focus and concentrate for ultimate success. But before we get into the subject, I just want to know about each and every one of you where you are from. I am from Hyderabad. If you can type in the chat where you are from, that would be appreciated. So type in the chat where you are from. Chennai, Coimbatore, Mumbai, Delhi, Tirupati, Delhi, Uttarakhand. Wonderful. Warangal. I'm from Warangal myself, Kaushik. Navi Mumbai, Chhatrapur, Sirmaur. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. Sirmaur, Bangalore. Yes, yes, yes. Now, let me ask you a related question. Someone joining from all the way from USA, Dallas. I used to work in the US myself, Arvind. All right. So let me launch a poll. Is this the first time that you are seeing me? If this is the first time you are seeing me, click on the first option A. Yes, Venkat, this is the first time I'm seeing me. Or if you have already seen me previously, click on the second option B. I have attended your previous webinar. All right, let me end the poll and let me share the results. 90% of you here are seeing me for the first time and 10% repeat people. All right, for those of you who are seeing me for the first time, I really appreciate that you have chosen to spend time with someone that you haven't seen before or you haven't heard about before, and I deeply appreciate that. And for those who are coming back into the webinar, welcome back. And I acknowledge each and every one of you for being in this webinar. I know you could have been doing any number of things in your life, but the fact that you have chosen to be in this webinar, it tells me that you really are interested in learning new things and you want to take the quality of your life to the next level. And on my part, I am going to make sure that every minute that you spend here is going to be well worth your time. But I cannot do it alone. For your time to be worth it, I want you to commit on 3 things for the duration of this webinar. The first is, because we are talking about focus and concentration, I want you to be completely focused for this webinar without any distractions. The second commitment I'm looking for you is to interact with me, to engage with me, because I do not want this webinar to be just one-sided. I want us to carry a dialogue forward. So whenever I ask you to write something in the chat, please do so. Whenever I ask you to participate in the polls, I want you to do so. And those are the 2 things in which we have already interacted. And I want you to also fully participate when we go on some deep guided journeys during the 60 minutes. And the third commitment I'm looking for you is to stay until the end of this webinar. If you follow through on all 3 of these, I guarantee that you are going to walk away with some new knowledge, with some precious practices that you can adopt right from today to help you. Now, is that a deal between you and I want to make a deal with you. So if you agree to all 3 of these commitments, if you can follow through, type a D in the chat, D for deal. If you can type in the chat. All right. I am seeing many of you typing A, D in the chat. Wonderful. Okay, and I on my side, I am making a deal with you that I will ensure that your time is well spent here. And right now, I am going to turn off this chat. What I mean by that is you can still continue writing to me, but others cannot see it, so that each one of us can stay focused on this webinar. Now, the title of this webinar is How to Focus and Concentrate for Ultimate Success. What does success mean? The definition of success is very different from every person. Your definition of success would be very different from that of mine. So it is our own individual definition. And we will actually get clarity on that for each of us during the 60 minutes. But let us actually ask ourselves, success in what? Ultimate success in what? See, there are so many facets, there are so many aspects to our life, isn't it? We have a professional life, we have a financial life, we have a personal life, a family life, a social life, so many aspects, and success could be in any of these areas. And each of these areas are interdependent on other areas of our life. But for the purpose of this webinar, let us only focus on two aspects of our life, that is our professional life and our financial life, because they are so closely interrelated with each other. And I am making a guess that many of you in the webinar are in some kind of a profession. Maybe you're having a job or a business or doing something on your own. And I'm also expecting that all of you are really striving to go to the next level in your profession, to climb that ladder of success, to achieve that ultimate success. And I know that because I myself have been in the corporate world, even though I may look differently right now, but I actually used to work as a software engineer. I worked for 18 years in California in USA as a software professional, working across many high-tech companies. In fact, one of my job positions was at Sun Microsystems, where I was part of the team that created and developed the Java programming language, which is so widely used amongst the internet technologies today. So I have seen my own successes in the professional life, and I'm assuming that each of you is aspiring to climb up the ladder. So let me ask you this. In your opinion, if you want to achieve ultimate success in your professional life, what do you think is the most important factor? Is it education? Is it knowledge? Is it skill? Is it training? Is it communication skills? Is it contacts? Is it luck? Type in the chat, what do you think are the most important factors that lead to ultimate success in your professional life? Communication skills, Revant. Okay. What else? Self-belief. Okay. What else are the factors that are necessary for success in professional life? Self-confidence. Okay. And let me see. Training, skills, health and confidence, communication and experience, knowledge and skills. Wonderful. And I agree with you that each of the things that you have mentioned in the chat are extremely important for success in our professional life. Now, let us move on to the next area, the financial life. Each one of us has dreams in terms of how much income we would like to make, how much bank balance we need to have in the bank so that we are having that security in our life. And each of us has our own definition of success in the financial life. But let me ask you the same question. What, in your opinion, is the most important skill that is required for success in our financial life? Is it having a successful job or profession? Is it investment skills? Is it money management skills? Is it luck? Is it that lottery ticket? What do you think are the most important factors that lead to success in our financial life? Being honest. Okay, what else? Well, money money is a factor for financial success, but what brings us to more money? Money management, patience, knowledge, planning, and awareness about budgeting. Yes, good answers. Wonderful. What else? Money management. Okay, time management, management. Okay, okay. Thank you all for your answers. I appreciate that. And I want you to remember all of your answers. Each one of the factors that you have mentioned is extremely important. And why don't we think about everything that you have mentioned as factors for success, either in our professional life or in our financial life? Let us think about it as a vehicle that takes us to the destination being ultimate success. And more precisely, let us think about all of the factors that you mentioned as a ship that takes us to the shores, to that destination of ultimate success. I want you to keep this image in your mind, and I want you to remember all of the factors that you mentioned, because we are going to come back to it in just a few minutes. But first, let us now delve into what success means, what ultimate success means to each of us. Like I said, individual definitions of success vary from person to person. So let us find about your own definition of success. And for that, what we need to do, we need to really leave this conscious mind behind. We need to leave this questioning mind behind and expand into other realms of consciousness, into the realm of possibilities, so that you can really deeply connect with your inner spirit and truly find out what is it that you are looking for in your life, what is your definition of success. And for that, we will go into a guided journey, and I want each and every one of you to come along with me into this journey for the next few minutes. What I want you to do is to follow my instructions. Okay, so if you are ready, what I want you to do, I want you to sit straight wherever you are sitting. I want you to sit straight. Make sure that your body is relaxed, that you're relaxed in the shoulders, neck, and face. And now I want you to take a deep inhalation, drawing in the energies from the universe into your body, into your mind. And exhale completely, letting go of any thoughts, letting go of your worries, letting go of your anxieties. And now I want you to close your eyes. With your eyes closed, Make sure that both of your feet are firmly planted on the floor. And now visualize that there are roots extending from your feet and growing deep into the earth. The roots from your feet are extending deeper and deeper into the earth until the roots reach to the center of the earth. And now you can feel your body firmly anchored by Mother Earth. You are being held by Mother Earth and your body is safe and secure. Now all that matters is your breath and the sound of my voice. Take a deep breath in, drawing the energies from the universe into your body. And exhale, letting go of any thoughts, worries, and anxieties. Now your spirit is ready to travel anywhere it wants. Let your spirit now rise in your body and let it leave your body from the top of your head. Your spirit is now above your body, watching down on your body, which is firmly held by Mother Earth. And now imagine that your spirit is at the center of a circle, where the center represents the present moment in time, and the circumference represents the end of your life. And from the center to the circumference, there are a number of radial lines. Each line represents a different possible path that you can take between now and the end of your life. And as you look around, you find one single radial line that is illuminated in blue color. And that line represents the most successful version of you traveling along that path. And now let your spirit rise even up. And let your spirit travel into the future along that blue radial line that represents the most successful version of yourself. Your spirit is now 5 years from the present moment in the future, and let it come down. And now look at your professional and financial lives. What is your financial and professional life looking like at your most successful version 5 years from now? Do you see yourself being that professional who is known to a wide range of people for your expertise, whether you are an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever your profession is? Do you see leading teams of people do you see leading a company of your own and being very, very successful in your profession, whether it is your business or your line of work, whatever it is? Ask your spirit, in the realm of possibilities, if nothing was impossible, what is the picture of ultimate success in your professional life 5 years from now? What could you become? And now shift your focus to your financial life. How much do you see earning every year 5 years from now? How much bank balance do you see having? And how does that make you feel? What are the things that money allows you to do, to have, to achieve? What is the definition of ultimate success for you in your financial life 5 years from now? Tap into your spirit, ask it the definition of ultimate success in your professional and financial life. And now ask yourself, why is it important for you to have that ultimate success? What does it mean to you? What difference can you make in your personal life, in your family life, in your professional life, to the people around you? And with that definition of ultimate success, let that definition, let that image of ultimate success permeate through each and every cell of your body and your mind, knowing that this is a possibility. And now let your spirit rise above again. And as you look back on the radial line, blue radial line to the center of the circle, you are in gratitude for all of the decisions that you have taken in the present moment and at every point of time that have led you on this path of success. And with that feeling of gratitude, let your spirit now travel back along the same blue line back in time to the center of the circle, to the present moment. And now your spirit is back in the present moment above your body. And let your spirit re-enter your body quickly and effortlessly. All right, your spirit is back in the body. Take a deep breath in, inhale, drawing in the energy from the vision that you have seen for yourself. And exhale, knowing that that is a definite possibility, provided you make the right decisions along the path. Now bring your awareness back to your breath, back to my voice, And when I count to 3, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. I hope each and every one of you have been able to take this guided journey and that you have defined, you have seen your vision of success. Tell me in the chat, how was your journey? In 1 or 2 words, how do you feel? What were you seeing? What is your experience? Type in the chat what your experience of this journey was. Okay, relaxing. Yes, I appreciate that. Relaxing. What else? Oh, feeling more energy, feeling peaceful. Yes, enjoyable. Yes, healthy and wealthy life. You have seen that. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Feeling motivated. It was a feeling that is enjoyable, and absolutely, because you have left behind this questioning mind and you have traveled to that point in future and you have seen what can be possible. You have connected with your spirit in order to really find out exactly what are your desires, what is your mission, what would you like to see and realize in this lifetime, what are your dreams. You have seen that. Getting more confidence, it's a beautiful scenario. Yeah, peaceful and energizing. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, wonderful. Now that you are back in your present moment in this body, I am also assuming that the mind is already beginning to question. The mind is already beginning to doubt. It might already beginning to have that conversation within and chattering in the mind, which is saying, hey, that is the stuff of dreams, that success cannot be yours. Success is only meant for those people who are a different class apart, or success is something that you can never get. How can you even dream of that? How is it even possible to achieve that success? The mind keeps questioning and doubting everything that we may have seen. And if your mind is really questioning you, doubting you, if you are already having that conflict within the mind, type yes. And that is very, very natural for the mind to question. So type in the yes, type a yes in the chat if your mind is already questioning how can you get there, and that it is not possible. Type a yes in the chat. Yep, yep. Many of you are typing a yes, and that is the nature of mind. As powerful as the mind is, it is always raising questions, and we just need to know how to harness the power of the mind, and that is what we are going to be learning. But we wanted to get clear on the definition of what ultimate success means in each of the areas of our life, and what are the factors that lead to our definition of success. Now, let me ask you, uh, there are two possible ways for us to get to that ultimate destination of success that we have defined. One is a linear path and the other is a exponential path. Linear path is something that most people, 98% of the people, take a linear path, whereas a small select group of people, they take a exponential path where they are growing and improving the quality of their life by leaps and bounds. So there is the linear path and there is the exponential path. Now, let me ask you this and type in the chat. Which path is going to take you to your definition of ultimate success? Is it the linear path or the exponential path? If it is exponential, type E or exponential. If it is linear path, type L or linear. And I see many of you typing a exponential path, and absolutely it is the exponential path. If we want to achieve our dreams, our visions in this lifetime, and our time on this earth is limited, there is going to be a point in which we are no longer going to be on this earth, and so we have a very, very limited time between that center of the circle and the circumference. And in that limited time, if we want to really achieve all of our dreams and visions and be fulfilled and live up to our fullest potential, we need to take that exponential path. Linear path will not take us there. It is as simple as that, and we are going to learn how to take that exponential path also. Now, let me ask you, do you really want to achieve that ultimate success that you have seen? I mean, do you really want it with every cell of your body, with your heart, with your mind, with your soul, completely? Do you want to achieve that success in this lifetime? If so, type a yes in the chat if that is your heartfelt desire, if it is a desire that is coming from deep inside of you, if you would really like to, even if your mind is questioning that I cannot get there, you cannot get there, if that is your dream, type a yes in the chat or a Y in the chat. Yep, many of you are typing a yes in the chat, and I appreciate your answers. Okay, wonderful. Now let us come back. Let us come back to the factors that we have. When I asked you what are the most important factors for achieving ultimate success in our professional life and in our financial life, each of you wrote many answers, and all of those are important. And I asked us that we imagine that those factors are a vehicle, or more precisely as a ship that takes us to the ultimate destination of success. Now, let us imagine that our ship, which is all of our skills or training or education, which is the vehicle, it is sailing in the waters. But what happens if we are faced with tsunamis, if we are faced with 100-foot waves, if we are faced with 200 kilometers per hour wind speeds, and the waves are tossing and turning, and that tsunami, that hailstorm, everything? Do you think that the ship, even if it is the best ship in the world, do you think it can survive that kind of a hostile environment that is created by nature? Absolutely not. Chances are that the ship may just sink, or it may stray off the course if it survives at all. It is almost impossible for it to survive that kind of a hostile situation. But if that ship is sailing in smooth waters, then it becomes so much easier for it to reach its destination, isn't it? And so while we are equating all of the skills that you have listed as the ship. What is the water? What is the medium on which that travels? That medium, the equivalent of that water, is our mind. If our mind is disturbed and it is not able to focus and concentrate, if it is the equivalent of that stormy waters, it is the equivalent of that tsunami, and no matter how good of a skills that we have, or how good of a knowledge that we have, with a mind that is really tossing and turning, it is not possible for us to reach our destination of ultimate success. However, if the mind is calm, like that calm, shimmering water, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the challenges are, if the mind is able to focus and concentrate despite anything, then it is so much easier for us to take that exponential path and reach our destination of ultimate success. And it is only our ability to maintain that stable mind, and it is only when we are able to maintain that focus and concentration in the mind, then we can achieve anything that we can imagine, anything that we can perceive. We can really reach that destination. And look around the world, everything great that has been achieved was first conceived in the mind, and then it became a reality. And only with focus and with concentration, we can really acquire all of the skills. We can acquire that money, we can acquire that professional success, we can acquire that happiness. All of that is only possible by having focus and concentration. Remember, no focus and no concentration, maybe we are just stagnating or just taking a normal linear path. So we have to understand what is focus, what is concentration, and why is it important. So let us define, because each one of us may be having our own individual definitions of focus and concentration, and we all need to come to a common platform, a common understanding of what focus is and what concentration is. So let us look at that. Focus is the ability for us to narrow our attention to something. For example, when we hold that convex lens, we are able to narrow down a bunch of sun rays into a single beam that is more intense and more powerful than the rays of the sun, individual rays of the sun. And what is concentration? Concentration is our ability to maintain that focus for an uninterrupted period of time until the task at hand is complete. So in this particular example, if what we want to do is to generate a fire using the convex lens, we first need to focus the rays of the sun. That is the focus part. But in order to really generate that fire, we need to hold that convex lens in place steadily, uninterrupted, until the fire is generated, and that is concentration. So I hope that the definition of focus and concentration is clear now. So let us understand, what is it that comes in between us and our ability to have that calm and peaceful mind and our ability to focus and concentrate. There are a number of things that prevent us from having that unflickering focus and unprecedented concentration. Let us look at some of the factors. The first one is our emotions. We are all creatures of emotions. We are a bundle of emotions, and these emotions come in the way to our ability to focus and concentrate. And emotions, especially negative emotions, which are fear or guilt or anger or depression or sadness or shame, whatever it is. And even positive emotions also come in the way for us to focus and concentrate, but especially negative emotions, they are coming in the way. We all think that we are free, that we are free in the body and we are free in the mind, but the reality is that we are not. We are, in one sense, slaves to our own inbuilt patterns of thinking, inbuilt patterns of behavior, inbuilt patterns of speech, and oftentimes it leads to acts of self-sabotage or addictions. So patterns come in the way of our ability to focus and concentrate. Ill health comes in the way, whether that ill health is in our physical body or in our emotional, in our mind, in the form of stress or anxiety or any of those other emotions, whether we are feeling disconnected with our own self, or ill health in our financial life or family life. All of these play a role in creating a disturbed mind. And thoughts also come in the way of our ability to focus and concentrate, because if you observe your mind, there is a constant stream of thoughts that are going on and on. In fact, there is always a constant dialogue going on in the mind, or maybe two conflicting voices that are going on in the mind, and all of that really prevents us from having that stable mind and prevents us from having that unflickering focus and unprecedented concentration. And all of these are like a weight that is tying us down, that is anchoring us, and that is not allowing us to move forward. Just imagine if we tie just half a kilogram of weight to the leg of an athlete champion like Neeraj Chopra, who won the gold medal on javelin. If we just tie a chain and half kilogram of weight to his leg, do you think he can really win that gold medal? Of course not, because it is going to hold him back. And we are like that in the sense that we are not just tied with half a kilogram of weight. Perhaps it is tens of kilograms of weight, figuratively speaking, or even hundreds of kilograms of weight in terms of our own negative patterns, in terms of our own negative emotions and everything, because the mind is not clear, the water is not clear for the boat to sail, and we are not able to focus and concentrate. So how can we take that exponential path? And if you really want to take that exponential path, if you really want to achieve that ultimate success, we need to make sure that whatever is tying us down, that we clear that out, we remove that, so that we can develop that focus and concentration. Because remember, if there is one thing I want you to walk away from this webinar, know this, that our ability to focus and concentrate are the most important skills that we can have. If we have that, if we have that root resource, then everything else becomes possible. Anything else becomes possible, irrespective of the challenges. So let me ask you, how many of you are convinced that it is focus and concentration are very important? If you're convinced that focus and concentration are extremely, or even the most important skills to have for us to achieve ultimate success, type a C in the chat to say that you are convinced. I just want to engage with you. I want to okay, if you are convinced, type a C in the chat. Yes, I am glad that many of you are convinced that focus and concentration are important, and that is exactly what we are going to learn right now how to focus and how to concentrate, which is why we are here in this webinar. Great. I appreciate all of that, all of your answers. Yes, absolutely. So now let us delve into understanding how to focus and how to concentrate. So we are now coming into the crux of our discussion. So let us, I'm pretty sure that each one of you in this webinar at some point or another, you might have purchased something that you really wanted, that you were excited about. Perhaps it was that new iPhone or a good powerful laptop or a good car or a bike, whatever it is. You purchased something that you were excited about, and if that was the very first time that you were using such a gadget, what did you do first? You made sure that you went through the instruction manual that came along with that gadget, or you asked someone to train you, to teach you how to use that, so that you can master and use that gadget to your advantage. Now, we all have access to a gadget that is even more powerful than the most powerful supercomputer in the world or any other invention that you can think of. And that gadget that we have at our disposal is our mind. The mind is so powerful, but actually the mind is a double-edged sword. It can either be our best friend and take us to our definition of ultimate success, or it can be our worst enemy and push us down and stagnate and stay down and face issues and problems and stress and anxiety every single day. The mind can take us either way. And for that, we really need to understand the mind a little bit so that we can master it. Because mind, remember, mind is just a instrument at our disposal. We are not our mind, we are not our body. The mind is simply an instrument, a gadget at our disposal. And mind is the lens through which we experience the world, whether the experience for us is one of success and joy, or whether it is one of failure and sorrow. Whatever it is only through the lens of the mind. And if we know how to master our mind, then we can go anywhere. We can take that exponential path. We can have that focus and concentration. So let us see how. We need to understand the states of the mind. Remember, if a simple gadget like a iPhone or a car, if it comes with an operating manual, how about this gadget that each one of us has? Does it come with a operating manual? And if it comes with an operating manual, have we studied that? The answer to the first question is, fortunately, yes, there is a manual for the mind. And if your question is, Venkat, where is that manual? What is that manual? That manual comes from the branch of science called the spiritual sciences. Spiritual science is a branch of science that is even more real than other branches of science that we are familiar with, whether it is physics or quantum mechanics or chemistry or medical sciences. All of those sciences deal with the external world, whereas the spiritual sciences deals with the internal world. And the ancient sages, rishis, thousands of years ago, they studied this mind, and they have laid out the principles, the operating manual of the mind, and they have stated that there are 5 states of mind. And those 5 states of mind, each one of us is in one of those 5 states of mind. So let us look at what are the 5 states of mind. The first state of mind is called the Mudha state. The Muda state is a dull and tamasic state where the mind doesn't want to move. It really makes us stagnate wherever we are, or it actually not just stagnate, but it takes us down on a downward spiral to a never-ending abyss of failure. And it is lazy. Obviously, it will not get us anywhere. So that is the first state of mind, Muda. The second state of mind is the Kshipta state of mind, where the mind is extremely restless and it is distracted. And in this state of mind, our thoughts are out of control, our emotions are out of control, the mind is out of control, and in a sense, our life is also out of control. It is just running by default. In the default mode, we are just flowing around, floating around wherever life takes us without a specific direction, always being in that restless state of mind. So both of these states of mind are the equivalent of that tsunami, is the equivalent of that huge waves which are tossing and turning the ship. And how can that ship even reach to its ultimate destination of success if these are the states of mind, right? What is the third state of mind? It is the opposite of Kshipta, which is Vikshipta. In this state of mind, the mind is preoccupied with something. It is always thinking about one single thing, irrespective of whatever activity that we are doing. It is always dwelling on that one and one thing alone. And in this state, the mind is more focused. And this is the state of mind that people who are artists or creative geniuses or scientists, people who do deep work, they are in this Vikshipta state of mind. But we can also be in the Vikshipta state of mind on negative things. For example, if we are constantly brooding over and being angry at someone or something or about ourselves, or if we are constantly thinking about the problems in our life, if we are preoccupied with that, then it actually kicks us back into the Kshipta state of mind, into the Muda state of mind, so that again we go into a downward spiral. So it is extremely important for us to make conscious choices of what we are thinking, how we are thinking. But as you can imagine, as we go from state 1 to 2 to 3, we are really going from the most unrefined states of mind to the more refined states of mind. What is the fourth state of mind? It is what is called Ekagra. Now, many of us may be familiar with this word ekagrata or ekagra. It is a common term that is in our Indian languages. And in this state of mind, in this state, the mind simply refuses to move, to budge until the task that it has to accomplish, until it is complete, until it is accomplished. The mind refuses to entertain anything. It stays very, very focused. And this is the state of mind which is called the state of flow. These days we are hearing a lot about the state of flow, especially people in the West or from Japan. They are talking about this. But what does state of flow mean? It simply means that our life is flowing effortlessly, that our life is moving along the path of least resistance, in which we are able to accomplish a lot more within a lot less time with a lot less energy. That is what is called leverage. And this is the state of flow, extreme fluidity state of mind. So this is the ekagra state of mind. And the final and most refined state of mind is the niruddha. Niruddha is when the mind is completely completely mastered and restrained, and this is the state of mind that many yogis and masters are working towards achieving. So these are the 5 states of mind, and at any given point of time we can be in one of these states of mind. Now, the question I want to ask you is, if we want to take that exponential path, and if we want to achieve that ultimate success in our life, I want you to take a guess of the state of mind that we need to be consistently in, whether we should be in state 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Type the number. Where do you think our mind should be consistently in order to reach our ultimate success definition, in order to take that uh, path of exponential progress? I see a 4 and a 5, a 5, 5, 5. Well, for those of you who are typing in a 5, let me just say that 5 is the ultimate state, but for us, actually, the state 4, ekagra, is enough. And, of course, one needs to take it step by step, but for us, for all practical purposes, if we are able to achieve the state of ekagra in this current situation, then that in itself is going to take us quite a distance. And then if one wants to pursue even higher goals of spirituality, then they can aim for the Niruddha state of mind. But for the most part, the Ekagra state of mind. Vikshipta is a very, very double-edged sword. It doesn't, it helps us, go quite a distance, but not quite enough. So it is the Ekagra state of mind that will take us there. And now we need to really understand, know how to get to that Ekagra state of mind. And that is exactly what we are going to look at right now. So let us now understand how we can focus and how we can practice concentration. Let me ask you a question. As you were growing up, did your parents or did your teachers tell you, hey, concentrate so that you can be successful in life? Or do you tell your children, hey, concentrate on your studies so you can become successful in your life? I have launched a poll. If your parents or teachers asked you to concentrate, or if you tell your children to concentrate, click on A, yes, or no. So let me see the answers. Okay, great. Let me end the poll and let me share the results. Look at these results. 93% of you have said that you have been asked to concentrate, or you would be asking your children to concentrate, and that is to be expected. Yes, absolutely. Now, for each of us, we may, most probably, most likely, for us to do our jobs, we might have taken a formal education. Maybe it is a 4-year education or a 2-year diploma course or a 7-year course or whatever, but we have taken formal training in the line of work that we are doing, and we have practiced that work either as an apprentice or on the job. So we went through a rigorous and formal learning process and practicing process in order to be successful at our jobs, right? Now, in the same way, even though you were asked to concentrate, or you ask your children to concentrate, in the same way, did you have a formal training on how to focus and how to concentrate? Did you have the same kind of rigorous training to learn how to focus and practice concentration, or do you teach your children how exactly to concentrate? Do you go through that? I have launched a poll. Let me know in the results if you have formally learned how to focus and concentrate, rigorously learned, and you are applying that and you are practicing concentration at all times. So let me end the poll and let me share the results. Almost 60% of you here have said that there has not been any formal learning on how to focus and concentrate. A minority of the people, congratulations to them, about 30% say that they have had a formal learning of how to focus and concentrate. And this is the skill. Previously, I asked you whether you were convinced that focus and concentration are the essential skills for us to take that exponential path, and you said yes. And now, unfortunately, we do not go through a formal learning and practice session. And if we do not practice concentration at all times, what are we practicing? We are practicing distraction. Whatever we practice, we get good at. And if we are not practicing concentration, we get good at distraction, and it cannot take us on that exponential path. That is a given. I mean, at most, we may be just floating around in life, wherever life takes us, we go. But we really need to go through that rigorous process of focus and concentration. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Some of these methods are very, very simple. So let us get now into the crux of this webinar. How do you learn how to focus and how to concentrate? Here are some methods. The first, and it is so simple that we can start using it from this moment onwards, it is to have a regulated lifestyle. We often discount the importance of having this regulated lifestyle. Regulated lifestyle meaning when we wake up, when we go to sleep, having a regular pattern for our diet, our exercise, our work hours, spending time with loved ones. A regulated lifestyle goes a long way in our ability to have that stable mind and our ability to focus and concentrate. And this is something that you can apply right from this moment if you do not already have such a lifestyle. I mean, that in itself is not enough, but at least it forms the basis. The second is to make sure that you are doing only one thing at a time and to remove distractions, because the mind is always under the impression that, hey, I can multitask, I can be more efficient if I'm multitasking while working on something important, if we are attending to those emails or those messages on the phone or calls, or someone interrupts. If we are interrupt driven, then we are not giving ourselves a chance to focus and to concentrate, because the moment we switch the context of the mind, remember, the mind can, as powerful as it can only do one thing at a time. And if we switch our attention to something even momentarily, coming back is so much more expensive, and it drains us of our mental energy. So if you really want to focus and to concentrate, and if you really want to take that exponential path, here is a simple suggestion. Create blocks of time, whether that block of time is only 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour, and in that, turn off all interruptions and make sure that you're only focusing on what you want to achieve, and you will be able to achieve much more in much less time and in a much better fashion. So doing only one thing at a time. And the third thing I am going to mention is by far the most important thing that you can do in order to learn how to focus and practice concentration. And that is a set of holistic practices. Holistic practices are a combination of many and all of yogasanas, conscious breathing or pranayama, of meditation, of mindfulness, of conscious relaxation. It is these practices that help you transform, that help you change from the inside out. And I'm going to talk about exactly how, especially these last two, the conscious breathing and meditation and mindfulness, these last three are a direct practice of focus and concentration, not to speak of the benefits that it gives us in the body, in the mind, and in the soul. Because you know what? All of us are under the impression that we are just this physical body or mind, but there are so many layers to our existence, and we need to really understand about the layers of our existence. There is the physical body, there is the breath body, or the energy body, then there is the emotional body, there is the wisdom body, and then there is the bliss body. So there are many layers to our existence. It is not just our physical body, ladies and gentlemen. And it is, unless we are able to create a change across all of these layers into the deepest and most subtle layers of ourselves, unless we are able to do that, we cannot really create that lasting change. And when we talk about holistic practices, especially conscious breathing and meditation and the practice of mindfulness, they are working at all levels of your being. They transform you. You know what? Each and every cell of our body is having its own patterns. It has its own memory, and these are deeply ingrained, and many times they are acting against us, and we need to retrain, we need to create the change at a cellular level. And all of these holistic practices, they create the change at the cellular level in the physical body, and also in our energy body, in the mental body, in our bliss body, and emotional body. So they are the ones that are really changing us from deep inside, and removing those unhealthy patterns that we may have been having. And it helps us deeply heal in the body and in the mind, to get rid of that stress or anxiety or any of those negative emotions that are tying us back, so that our mind can be stable like that still water. Right now it is going through its own waves and disturbances and emotions and all of that. See, unless we untie ourselves with those, how can we reach our destination of ultimate success? How can we take that exponential path? So these are the most important steps. One, having a regulated lifestyle. Two, making sure that we do one thing at a time. And most importantly, having a set of holistic practices that really transform and change us from the inside out. Because only when we change on the inside first, then the external world will be a perfect reflection of our internal world. And the all of the successes that we envision in the mind will automatically, naturally follow in a state of flow. Now, I cannot really go any more in depth regarding the holistic practices, because we have a 1 hour webinar and I have already gone 8 minutes over the webinar. But now I am going to talk to only those people who want to continue our conversation, because I am happy to offer a 7-day live program in which I take you through all of these inner transformational practices that help you change from the inside out, for you to have a healthy body, a mind that is free of stress and anxiety, and to feel more deeply connected with our own inner self, and to have that unique ability to focus and to concentrate. So I'm now only talking to those 2% or 3% of the people who really want to bring their dreams and visions into reality, who really want to take that exponential path. And if you're not amongst those people, then it would be a waste of your time to continue in this, because I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about the program that I'm offering that I know will help people. So I just want to make sure that I get that cleared, who I am talking to now. All right. So the program that I'm offering is a 7-day program in which we meet live 75 minutes every single day. We are meeting from 6:45 to 8 o'clock every, right now I cannot see you, but during those 7 days, we are going to have live interactive sessions in which I take you through, I train you how to have that conscious breath practices that help us have a healthy body, mind, and soul. Because breath, I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Our breath is the key. It is the master key to our success. Many of us, we are not even conscious about the power of our breath. We think that, hey, I'm just breathing. Breathing is something that we are doing by default. But are you aware that there is a incredible power, a vital energy to breath that we are not consciously aware of? And if we only know how to harness that power of breath, then we can greatly heal our body. We can control our mind. And you all know how difficult it is to control our mind, how difficult it is to control our thoughts and our emotions. We do not have a direct control, but our state of mind has a direct effect on our breath. And conversely, our breath has a direct effect on our mind. And by controlling our breath and knowing the different techniques of breathing, we can really harness that incredible power. So I will take you through breath practices. I will take you through meditation practices. I will take you through practices of mindfulness and conscious relaxation. And all of this really helps us in many ways. It benefits us to have a healthy body. In fact, I want you to know that many hospitals around the world, they are using conscious breath practices to help their patients heal from a number of physical illnesses, whether it is lifestyle related diseases or blood pressure or heart related conditions or diabetes or chronic body pains, low energy levels. And they are also using breath practices to help their patients heal from emotional imbalances like stress and anxiety. So I'm offering all of this as a 7-day program. Okay, so let me share about that program. That program is called Yogic Breath for Healthy Body, Mind, and Soul. Yogic Breath for Healthy Body, Mind, and Soul. 7-day program, meeting 75 minutes each day. Let us look at the details. Before we go into the details, Dr. Atul Shah, who is a practicing cardiologist for the last 4 decades, he recently took this 7-day program with me, and he said, I realized that conscious breathing is one of the most important skills for our emotional stability. Remember that emotional stability, that calm state of mind, that ability to focus and concentrate. And without emotional stability, it is not possible to avoid lifestyle diseases. And I'm glad that Dr. Atul Shah had a positive experience taking this 7-day program. And I know if you join in this program, you yourself will experience. So let us look at what is included in the program. Like I said, it is a 7-day program, live meeting for 75 minutes every day from 6:45 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Batch starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. In fact, my next batch is starting tomorrow itself. And sometimes opportunities just come, and we simply need to take a leap of faith. So there is a batch starting tomorrow, November 29th, and another batch starting on the 13th of December. And these are live meetings every single day. And 2 days prior to the start of the program, I hold a live interactive onboarding session, a orientation session in which I prepare people, I instruct people how to be prepared in the body and in the mind so that they can derive the full benefits out of this 7-day program. And for the batch that is starting tomorrow, I conducted this orientation session on Friday. But not to worry, if you decide to join in the program tomorrow, the moment you enroll, you are going to get an auto reply, and in that auto reply there is a link to access the orientation session. It is a 45-minute recording followed by some Q&A, and that will help you prepare yourself for the session that is starting tomorrow. All right. And finally, what is included in the program is that you will be part of a WhatsApp group that is specific to the batch so that you can interact with me. If you have any questions or doubts, you can get them clarified. This is a forum for community support, and it is also a forum in which you turn in your assignments. Every day I will give you a small assignment to be followed through during the day so that you can integrate what you are learning and practicing into your everyday life. It only takes 10 or 15 minutes, but this is what is included in the program. 7-day program, 75 minutes, meeting from 6:45 to 8 o'clock, a batch starting tomorrow and a batch starting December 13th with a orientation live session and a WhatsApp group. So now let me ask you, how many of you are serious, interested in knowing further details about this program, and possibly you might want to join? And I will go through what it takes to join, but I want to just gauge how interested you might be in taking that exponential path to really achieving your ultimate success. So if you are interested, type a I in the chat before I share the other details. If you're interested, if you really want to take this path, if that is what your soul and heart really want, type a I in the chat. All right. Thank you. Thank you all for expressing your interest. And I am now happy to share what it takes for us to join. See, if you really want to benefit, and what are the benefits? The benefits are very simple, succinct and simple. End benefits is to have a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a happy, peaceful soul, and a stable mind, and the ability to focus and concentrate. These are the benefits that you're going to get out of this 7-day program. But the only way that you can get these benefits are if you are willing to invest your time and energy. Investment of time is 7 days of 75 minutes every day at least, and of course even after that to follow up on some of the practices, that is an investment and a monetary investment. So the question in your mind is, okay, what is the monetary investment? How can I join? And I am going to share that with you right now. Okay, the normal investment for this program is 5,000 rupees because it is including a comprehensive set of benefits and access to me. And I truly believe that this is an investment that is worth every rupee because it is going to give you all of those returns. But I am making a special offer to the people who are really interested. I want it to be accessible to people. I want people to benefit. And the question in your mind might be, Venkat, I have heard you so far, but what makes you qualified to teach all of this? What is, who are you? If that is the question that is in your mind, let me share a little bit. I have already shared that I used to be a professional. I was a software engineer, worked for 18 years across many high-tech companies in the US, but at the peak of my career, I actually walked away from my profession. In 2005, almost 17 years back, I walked away from my profession. I came back to India and I became a full-time student of spirituality. And because it was my inner calling to go deeper, to understand more about myself, and in the process I have been taught by many yogis and masters about these many inner transformational skills, and I have applied them myself in my life, because I, like many of you, have gone through many issues in my own life, in my mind, in facing stress and anxiety and depression and hitting rock bottom. In fact, I might have experienced all of those even more intensely, but all of these practices really helped me heal from the inside out. And I'm having been both in the corporate world and in the spiritual world, I know exactly what the challenges are, and I have distilled all of these practices, which I myself have been practicing from the last at least 25 years, and I'm bringing them to people and I'm sharing them with people. So let me get back to how you can join this 7-day journey with me. The discount I'm offering, the investment discount that I'm offering for today's webinar is 750 rupees. 750 rupees is the investment, and I am calling it as a investment and not as an expense, because see, every day we are spending money on so many things on, and many of the things that we spend money are so transitory in nature. We just spend and that is gone and done. Whereas if you invest 750 rupees, you are going to learn deep transformational skills. You are investing on yourself. Only when you are investing on yourself, only when you invest the time resources, only when you invest the energy resources, that is what keeps you in the 2% of the people who can take that exponential path towards your ultimate success. So the investment is 750 rupees. Now, let me share the links, the InstaMojo links that allow you to join this program. Here is the link, InstaMojo link for the batch that is starting tomorrow, which is November 29th to December 5th. November 29th to December 5th. And let me share the link that is for the December 13th to December 19th batch. Here is the link for the December 13th to December 19th batch. These are the two InstaMojo links. All right. If you are joining for the batch that is starting tomorrow, you will get a auto reply with a link to the orientation session that I have done on Friday, and we can start on the journey from tomorrow itself. And if you have any questions, especially the people who have typed a I indicating that you want to join, if you have any questions about the program, or even or anyone, everyone, if you have any question about the program or anything that we talked about today, feel free to type in the chat. And I also want to mention that I am going to keep this webinar open for the next 15 minutes only, and I will keep this offer open only for the next 15 minutes. I'm giving this offer only for the webinar participants. So if you really want to take that exponential path, if you really want to set yourself apart, then learn the important inner transformational practices. And I'm going to talk about exactly what we are going to cover during these 7 days, what a 75-minute session looks like. I'm going to talk about all of that, and I'm also going to answer every question that you have. But if you have any questions, any doubts about the program or what we talked about myself, anything that is relevant to this, type in the chat. I will keep this webinar open for the next 15 minutes. All right. Good. Yes, I see some questions coming, and I will be happy to answer all of the questions. Now, let me share with you what is it that you are going to learn in these 7 days. What is it that we are going to cover, and what a typical 75-minute session looks like, and how you can benefit. So let me share that while you are bringing out your wallets and preparing to join this program. Let me share those details. But before I share that, I am actually happy to share this testimonial from Praveen Vadalkar, and many of you would be familiar with Praveen Vadalkar, and it is only through his WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups that you might have known about this webinar that I'm conducting today. So he recently said, hey Venkat, I am really burned out. I'm feeling a lack of focus, and I'm feeling low energy levels as I go through the day. And I said, hey, try this program. Because I know it makes a huge difference. And he did take me up on that program, and he said after taking the program, I have an increased focus and energy. My empty mind chatter has stopped. And remember, it is that empty mind chatter that drains us of our energy. It drains us of our mental energy. It is so expensive, and it doesn't allow us to focus and to concentrate. And it is that which creates that stress and anxiety at every level. And I'm glad that Praveen Vadalkar had a very positive experience. Until today, he is continuing the practices that he has learned. And what are the practices that you are going to learn and practice? There are 4 things that you will learn and practice. The first is conscious breathing. Conscious breathing also, it is that important part of the yogic sciences called pranayama. Pranayama simply means it's a combination of 2 words, prana and ayama. Prana means that life force, that is the core essence, that vital energy. In the Chinese tradition, it is called the qi. See, we are a bundle of energies. It is we need to really manage the flow of energy in our body. We need to manage the flow of prana, and ayama means expansion. So when you are able to expand the life energy, the life force within us, because many of our physical illnesses and emotional illnesses, they happen because of 2 reasons. One is insufficient quantity of prana within us, and the second is a improper distribution of prana within our body and within our mind, and that is really causing all of the imbalances. And by learning conscious breath practices, you learn how to harness the power of your breath and expand that life force within you. So I'm going to take you through a step-by-step incremental progressive journey on conscious breathing. In addition to conscious breathing, we will go through a very deep and effective meditation practice. Every single day, I take you through a progressive and incremental journey, and at the end of 7 days, you will have such a powerful meditation practice. And we all know the benefits of meditation, right? And you will have that practice, and it gives you that stress-free mind and a sense of peace within, where you are able to tap into the higher realms, more expanded sense of consciousness. In addition to conscious breathing and meditation, you are also going to learn how to properly relax the body and mind and heal it from the deep within. Because many of us, even when we have a full night's sleep, we often wake up feeling tired or stressed out or lethargic, because we did not know how to properly relax the body and mind. So that is another thing that you will learn. In addition, you are also going to learn how to practice mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is that ability for us to stay completely focused and present in every moment with full awareness and with full focus on whatever activity that we are doing, whether that activity is related to our work or spending time with a loved one, or even a routine activity like getting ready for work or brushing your teeth. And the practice of mindfulness is equal to the practice of focus and concentration. Practice of conscious breathing is equal to the practice of focus and concentration. Practice of meditation is equal to the practice of focus and concentration, not to speak about the many physical and emotional benefits that you get. So when you combine conscious breath with meditation, with proper relaxation and mindfulness, this is an integrated approach to creating that inner transformation that can give you that initial push, that momentum for you to go on to that exponential path. And these are the skills that will stay with you for the entire duration of your life, for a investment of 750 rupees. So let me remind you that I am going to keep this webinar open only for the next 7 minutes, and this is your opportunity to join the program. Let me share the links, and then I will answer the questions that have come in the chat. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, keep them coming in the chat. All right. Here is the link for the December 13th to 19th batch. And let me share the link for the November 29th to December 5th batch. Here is the link for November 29th to December 5th, which is the batch that is starting tomorrow. And when you enroll, you will get an auto reply with all of the necessary informations. And for tomorrow's batch, because I have already conducted the orientation session on Friday, you will get a link to the recording of that, so that you can start straight away tomorrow. All right. Okay, let me now answer the questions that have been coming my way. Yes, Arjun, absolutely yes. Yes, you are going to get a recording of every session. Even for by chance, if you are not able to come live to a particular session, you can always go and practice with the recording, and the recordings will be available not only for the duration of the 7 days, but for a full month after the completion of 7 days. So you have ample time to go through that, to practice and everything. And at the end of 7 days, I am going to give you a audio tape for a for your daily morning practice, and also an evening practice, which is a combination of a breath practice and meditation, which only takes 12 to 15 minutes, and that really helps us have a sound sleep and relieve ourselves of stress. So you will get all of the recordings. And for those of you who are asking if 6:45 to 8 o'clock in the morning is not a convenient time, and if you are only able to practice either in the evening or earlier in the morning because of your time conflicts with your work or whatever, you can still join the program and you can derive the complete benefits by make sure that you just allocate a 75-minute chunk of time every day, and just go along with the tape, and you will still be part of the WhatsApp group. You can interact with me, and if you have any questions or doubts, I'll be happy to answer. All right, now let us see. If you have joined the program, type a J in the chat so I know to expect you and to welcome you. Type a J in the chat if you have joined the program. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. Welcome. Welcome into the program. Okay. Good. I appreciate that. I see Amit from YouTube. Okay. Wonderful. Glad you are all joining the program. Okay. Now, if make sure that you check your email. The auto reply from Instamojo is 100% going to come to your email, and sometimes it may go into your updates folder or update into the promotions folder, and so make sure that you check that. Especially if you're joining for tomorrow, because you need to go through that orientation recording today itself. It's a 45-minute recording. All right. And if you have any difficulties, if you're not able to access that Instamojo auto reply, you can get in touch with me. You can send me an email. I am sending you the email, my email address, venkat@venkatrao.com, venkat@venkat-rao.com. And Amit, absolutely, yes. All of these practices are aimed at calming our mind. Absolutely. And in fact, the very first verse of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta means this mind, vritti, the fluctuations of the mind, nirodha, to eliminate, to calm down. So the goal of all of these practices is really that stable water, that calm mind that I have been talking about, which allow us to focus and to concentrate. So absolutely, yes, all of these practices are aimed towards this and this only. All right. So any other questions? Keep them coming in the chat. I am going to close this webinar in the next 2 minutes. Now, before I close this webinar, let me launch a small poll. I always like to take a end poll. Was this webinar useful to you? I'm launching a poll. Was this webinar useful to you? If so, if yes, click on A. If no, B. If not sure, click on C. I would like to get some feedback on what you thought about this webinar, because we have spent the last 100 minutes. Was this webinar useful to you? Was it worth your time? Answer in the poll. I am going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And thank you all for your answers. I appreciate that, and it always helps me have this feedback from you. And let me ask you a related question. I know that there are some people here who have answered that they really want to achieve that ultimate success, that they want to take that exponential path, and those who have said that they are interested in finding the details of the program but yet haven't joined. And I respect your decision. You may have any number of reasons, but I'm always curious at the end. If you have spent the last 100 minutes with me, and especially if you have answered, yes, I want to reach my ultimate success, and I want to take that exponential path, I want to hear about your program. And if you haven't yet joined the program, I'm curious, would you let me know why? And like I said, I respect your decision. I wish you only the best. But I'm launching a poll, and click on everything that applies to you, why you didn't join the program. That gives me an insight of where the interests of people are and what might be the reasons why you could not join the program. So I would really appreciate, I have spent the last 100 minutes with you, you have spent the last 100 minutes with me, and I hope that I have given something of use to you. But if you have decided not to join the program, I completely respect that. But if you can give me some feedback on, and I have given a number of possible reasons, and click on everything that applies. Okay, I am going to close this chat in, this poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, some more answers are coming. I will wait for 10 more seconds. Okay, and I appreciate your honest answers. I appreciate all of your honest answers. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate that. Okay. And I take that in. Okay. Wonderful. Finally, I want to say thank you to everyone who have spent the last 100 minutes with you. I wish you all a great day and a wonderful life. And for the people who have joined the program, welcome into the program. I am looking for us to have a great journey ahead. Thank you all so much. May you all live your life to your fullest potential. Thank you so much. Namaste to you.